Hello, everyone. Today, I'm going to share the, let's see, my document, my Word document. Um, Here in the Word document, I wanted to show you a couple of things. I'm going to start today the ecosystem and the ecological unit, and hence this pictures here. So as you see, you can see that this is an ecosystem, and then this is within itself. You can see there are a lot of, when a tree is grown up this big, you can see a lot of birds and other animals like squirrels. So yes, even that is considered to be a part of the ecosystem. And then of course I wanted to show the entire biosphere, so I just put the map, the globe as such. Okay, so this is just to represent, or have your thinking process started as to what we are going to do today. As I am moving down, okay, you can see here the definitions. What is an ecosystem, right? So ecosystem is nothing but a place where there are a lot of living and non-living things together existing, and life happens. So the smallest part or the smallest group, when you consider a huge entire biome, would be, first of all, would be a group of organisms, right? So a set of organisms together, would become a community. A group of, no, sorry, excuse me. So a group of organisms would be together, then it would become a population. A group of population together would become a community, and the group of community put together would become an ecosystem, and it becomes a biosphere. So these terms, I wanted you guys to, before even going down to the answer, I wanted you guys to rearrange this in the right order, in the ascending order or descending order, whichever order you want it to be, but yeah, I wanted you to arrange it. Now, these are the terms that we encounter when we actually go into the ecological unit. So first, let's figure out what ecology is. The study of how organisms interact with one another and with their physical environment is called ecology. Now, biotic and abiotic factors. These factors are the ones that actually play, you know, they play in such a way that, based on these biotic and abiotic factors, are how the organisms get adapted to a certain area as compared to the other areas. Okay, so first let's see what biotic means. The word biotic means living, or once living factors in the ecosystem. That means biotic factors, whenever we talk about biotic factors, they would be always things either they are living or they were once living. For example, if you see a bone of a chicken on the floor, or on the ground somewhere, it was once living, so it is also considered to be an biotic factor. Now, abiotic are things that are not living, which means you can say from sun to plastic to wood. No, from sun to plastic to, let's say, a fan. They all are abiotic factors. Rocks, climate, temperature, heat, they're all abiotic factors. Rain, water, right? Now, organism. What is an organism? Any individual is called an organism. Any individual that is a living thing is called an organism. Okay. Now, species. A group of similar organisms that can mate and produce fertile offsprings are called species. So all the animals that can actually mate and produce offsprings are called species. Population. Population is a group of individuals that belong in the same species and live in the same area. It's called population. The more number of human beings in a certain area, the more amount of population, right? So population. Community. All the populations, all different kinds of populations, different kinds of species coming together in a particular area is called community. Okay. What is then an ecosystem? We're talking about ecosystem. We're telling that we are into the unit of ecosystem. What is ecosystem? All organisms that live in a place where their physical, with their physical environment is called ecosystem. So all the organisms that live in one place, okay, in an environment, is called ecosystem. What is a biosphere then, right? all the ecosystems on the earth is called biosphere. Okay. What is biodiversity? Diversity means different types, right? So a different variety of organisms in an ecosystem is called biodiversity. Who is then an ecologist? An ecologist is a set of people or a person who studies the population, who studies the decline, the increase of population, the decline of population. Why is that a certain group of animals are not to be seen in the food chain, and what happened? Who are the predators? Who are their consumers? And so on and so on and so forth. Okay. Now, what is the term endotherm mean? Endotherm are cold-blooded animals that maintain a constant internal temperature, body temperature, which means that their temperature will always be the same no matter what the outside temperature is. Okay. Ectotherms are cold-blooded animals whose body temperature is dependent on the external temperature, which means that if the external temperature is not that good, then the ectotherms have to change or move away to a much better temperature place. Now, I want you guys to categorize these lists into biotic and abiotic. Okay, so all these terms are here. Now I need you to categorize into either it should be in abiotic or it should be abiotic. Let's read the words: pebbles, sun, earthworm, wind, moon, leaf, wings, flies, crabs, bacteria, bone, stem, air, rain, clouds, decomposers, autotrophs, socks, herbivores, rocks, sands, bacteria, cockroaches, climate, water, temperature, sunlight, hair, soil, and wings. Now categorize them into abiotic and biotic factors. Now here I have a virtual lab for you guys. So I'm going to show you how the virtual lab looks like. So there's an interactive lab is opening up. How do organisms react to change in abiotic factors? To survive, living things must adapt to non-living factors in the environment. These non-living physical factors include temperature, climate, air, water, sunlight, and soil. All of them are called abiotic factors. Abiotic factors determine the kind of organisms that are able to live in certain environments. So that's what I was telling you earlier too, that based on upon what the abiotic factors are will depend upon how the organisms are going to be in a particular area. Temperature influences organisms because it affects the rate of metabolism. So why is temperature so important? Because the rate of metabolism changes based on the temperature, and based on that the chemical reactions or chemical activities happen in our body for us to stay, grow, and reproduce. Warm-blooded animals, or the endotherms, maintain constant internal temperature regardless of the external temperature. So no matter what the external temperature is, they'll always maintain the same temperature. Okay. However, the ectotherms, on the contrast, will always determine, their temperature always determines based on the temperature of the environment. Because fish is an ectotherm, they can detect and react to the slightest temperature. So if you have a aquarium in your house and the temperature, surrounding temperature is just getting disturbed, not to the temperature what the fish needs, you need to have an observation. You need to have an understanding. Oh, yes, the temperature of the fish tank can also get affected, and the fish can be no more. So you need to remember that each species of fish has a separate temperature range that is optimum or best for them. In the water temperature, if the water temperature is too far from the optimum, the fish will either move away, or the fish will migrate to a certain spot, or it will, to find a new spot. In fall, cool waters, let me just scroll up. In fall, cool water signal young fishes to move away from the nursery. Since the water temperatures are influential, the way behavior of the fish also changes accordingly. Ecologists are concerned that the thermal pollution. Now, thermal pollution is caused when the factories try to remove their waste, that is hot water that has been used in the factories, that they put it deep into the ocean, and then the thermal pollution happens, which means that the water becomes too hot, extremely hard for the fishes to even survive. So this lab here what am I supposed to do, right? So you put, if you want to enter ask the fish to go inside, just click it, allow the fish to be here, and then you moderate, you determine what kind of temperature you want the fish to have. So, and depending upon that, the fish's claps will open and close, the gills will open and close, and if the more the heat, the fish cannot bear it, and the fish will start gasping for oxygen, and then you can see it opening more wider. So that's the difference. So you can also start the timer and stop the timer. You want, you can adjust the temperature, you can adjust the coolness or the hotness, all of them together. Okay. So that's one thing that I wanted you to see. Next one, when I'll go down, I'll show you. So I have this interactive abiotic, or the interactive abiotic and biotic forest that you can create. So let's go and see how does that work. All these are for you to have an understanding, better understanding of what ecosystem looks like. So I'm just going to show you a couple of times and then we'll go move on to the next one. So then, so here we see there are 12 days, and then each day you can add 5 of them. I'm just going to show you a sample. I wanted to add a lot of trees because I think that's better for the ecology. I'm not sure. So we can keep doing that till we have all the 12 days, and you can have fun to see whether your ecosystem that you built was good or whether it is bad. Okay, so you can try at your own time. Now let me move on to the next link that I have, and that is about abiotic and biotic factors. So that is just a video from YouTube that I pulled in. So I'm going to just forward this because this is what we've been going to, it's there, the link is there in my document. So you just have to, go through the document. And then once this is done, I have, I think, one more video, which is also about the biotic and abiotic. So we're not going to do that. Now we'll be going to photosynthesis, okay? And we're going to go straight to photosynthesis. So here we are. We just learned about how photosynthesis happens in plants, and all these are there in my document. So I would suggest that you go through it, go through the document, and then tomorrow we will talk about photosynthesis in detail. I have created a PowerPoint, so we can just go through the PowerPoint, learn the process, how to do it, and I will try putting it in the space below. So make sure that you go through all the links that I posted in my document. Also, I'll be posting the PowerPoint for a review, and also will give you a few questions based on you know, how to prepare for EOGs. So that way, when you learn a topic, you have everything needed for the topic, and also a set of questions that, you know, might come. And generally, I would be taking it from the bank, from the question banks of previous years. So it will be there for you to review and have a prep work already with you, so that you can always go back and refer. Okay, thank you.